Being in high school, I remember everything. It brings back a whole lot of memories like during Katrina. And I'm glad I'm still here after 20 years, you know?
It took a lot of precious people out of this world. It took a lot of precious people out of this region who didn't come back to the area to resettle it.
I still hear people talk about how it affected their lives. I still see, structures or empty lots from buildings that were demolished and never rebuilt.
For me personally, what Hurricane Katrina has done is helped me become more appreciative of this ecosystem, this natural ecosystem.
Katrina is one of those sort of turning point events in every individual life here in New Orleans. People talk in terms of their life before Katrina and their life after. So it changed the trajectory of people's lives.
This sign here by you being the Wetlands goes back over this way, and it leads to Bayou Bay Avenue. The triangle is the area that is a freshwater lot that was compromised back in the 50s when they made the Mississippi River Gulf outlet. It was very significant to Hurricane Katrina simply because that's one of the reasons why we felt like the water was able to come in and the levees were compromised because of the Mississippi River Gulf outlet.
The coast is why we're here. New Orleans was established as a port city. And we've been losing ground as a result of the leveeing the river. So it's a big issue, but it's also important to note that our river can create land, which a lot of coastal areas don't have that luxury. And so there's been a great deal of conversation and planning around how to use the river to create land here rather than continue to lose it.
The wetlands are a line of defense in how we manage the water that's in and around us and flows through us, As we restore those precious wetlands, we also help to restore bird habitat, okay? This is a flyway or a region for scores of beautiful birds to fly through, nest for a while, before they journey on to their next destination. We talk about the importance of the flood walls and the levees. But there's this natural defense system that we have, being the coastal wetlands, the trees, the land. The more precious wetlands and the more of an ecosystem we have to kind of give us that immediate storm surge buffer, the better we are, the stronger we are, the more resilient we are.
Erosion is one of the primary problems here and in Louisiana. We're losing a lot of habitat. This affects not just birds, but it affects people too. People are losing their beaches, they're losing their coastal resilience and protection from storms. The birds have recovered since then. They hit kind of a low point, and then as our stewardship program came back in, the birds have really started to respond. Although we're now starting to see another decline that's more related to habitat and erosion. All these things are intertwined. It's very complex.
Over the last dozen or more years, Audubon has been working lockstep with a few other environmental nonprofits, national nonprofits as well as local nonprofits. One in particular is what we call the Mississippi River Delta Coalition, to basically sound the alarm, round up as many community advocates as possible around this effort of restoring coastal wetlands.
Well, we were created here after Hurricane Katrina. Many times I've said that, what we're looking at is to make sure that our residents, our communities are at the table as these decisions are being made and not just on the table as they have been in the past. We hope that also that we play a role in maybe bringing the attention to the importance of urban understanding and recognition as it relates to environment.
Yeah, it was rough, but we always had plans to come back. We knew Hurricane Katrina was coming, and us in the whole city had a decision to make, whether to leave or to not leave. We landed in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and there was a church called Vineyard Church. By this time, the storm had hit. We're all in the church, and we're just looking at the news. Everybody's seeing just the city flood, people on roofs, just the damage that Katrina did. And we did a lot of damage is when the levees broke, when the levees breached. So all the water came in the city, especially the Lower Ninth Ward, but all over the city. We thought we was gonna be gone for just the weekend. We leaving with 3 days worth of clothes. We was gone for about 3.5 months. It was my stepdad, my mom, my stepbrother, and my nephew. No power, no water at the time. My nephew, Anthony, was about maybe 5 or 6 years old. If you think about, your memories start, 3, 4, 5, so that's some of his first memories.
One key thing that's important to us is building our next generation, the younger generation of leaders, not only just environmentalists and scientists, but also community leaders, of the importance of how to sustain our communities, how to keep it and how to protect it as well.
So this program is not only just doing research, it's also helping them as they have learned how to present.
That's why I like the internship, to where we feed that information to the younger generation, and then hopefully they do the same. We take high school students between 13 and 18, and we teach them about environmental science, different topics. Throughout the years, we do a lot of coastal restoration. So in the back we have, in a few other places, we have tree farms, cypress tree farms that we plant in the bayou. So we'll take those and plant thousands of trees.
We focused a lot of our work for advocacy, for education, and service learning to help the community to be more sustainable for the short term and for the long term. For the future, we first hope that the work we're doing will translate into better policies to protect not only the Lower Ninth Ward community, but all neighborhoods and communities, particularly in Louisiana.
It looks like equality within all the neighborhoods. It looks like not building industrial train tracks and widening canals where people have to lose their homes. It looks like more green infrastructure. It definitely looks like everybody working together to make sure the civilians have clean air, clean soil, and clean water.
It's hard to believe that 20 years have passed since Hurricane Katrina. On one hand, but on the other hand, you think of it, it's with all 20 years passing, there's still so much more work that has to be done.
What it means for me now more than ever is that the advocacy work just does not end. It just further evolves.
Going out there in a boat, seeing all the trees that were planted, it's a good sight to see that the stuff that you was planting, they're growing. When you go back out there, you're like, okay, we're really creating this buffer system, and really restoring the coast in different ways. I really enjoy doing it too, because I feel like I'm a hero, kind of. I'm trying to be a hero, like I'm doing this thing to try to protect the whole city and whatnot. And it definitely changed my perspective